let's get officially started. We got Troy with us today from our last podcast. We got Mondo today, another DJ, and then we have Mr. Angel himself.
Why do I gotta get the Mister?
Because you are the one that pays the bills in this room right here, in this whole building. So we gotta put some respect on that name for sure. I'm super glad you're taking a quick 30 minutes, 45 minutes here. We're gonna talk. So in our recent podcast, Troy was getting all set to do some gigs, some first gigs. So we've gotten those gigs done now. There was a couple homecomings. We had Mondo come on and help Troy out as well, so that we had a 2-person team at each event. And yeah, so how do you guys feel about that first one? Let's talk about the first homecoming. And of course, by the way, we're gonna get into a little bit of feedback from the gigs, as you already know if you clicked on the video. And we've already spoken to them about it a little bit, but we haven't gone all the way and had a full discussion. We thought it would be really cool to kind of bring this up on the podcast and just see how other people would approach it too. Maybe you guys out there, leave in the comments how you guys would approach the situation. Let us know how you would give feedback on the situation and maybe how you guys would have handled it the night of. So first off, though, first homecoming went really well. We had the school out in St. Pete there. We don't have to say too many names and everything, but to just keep things general, there was about 100 people there. We were in the gymnasium. We set up some lights. It was the first time using speakers that we had bought just for that event. So Troy got himself some new speakers, and yeah. So you guys take it from there. How did that first event go? What are your thoughts on that event?
I mean, that was cool. That was like getting the feet wet, but like I guess for context, like I used to DJ when I was like younger.
Me too.
Yeah. And like I just been curious to kind of like jump back into it and see what it feels like. So
Not me.
that was like a good it was like a good gig to get into. So shout out to the school itself, because they were like very supportive of making it a successful event and like trying to make it as eventful for the kids as possible. You know what I mean? And the space, honestly, bro, I was very surprised, and like I appreciate you for even like taking the time to like get me prepped for the event and like get me set up with like the things that we were gonna need. Because honestly, if it wasn't for that, it would have probably not gone as smoothly as it was. It would have been like a run-in-the-mill Joe Blow type of event, and like that's not obviously like. I work in the studio, like all the things that you do in there is to like really make an impression on people. So if I'm gonna do an event, I'm gonna try to do the same thing. I'm gonna try to make an impression. So I felt like we did that for the first event. I think we prepared enough to make sure that it was a memorable experience for the kids as well. So
yeah,
he's saying about the same. What I would say, I think it was they were very helpful. From the moment I got there, like they helped hold the door open. They told us where to put stuff. They weren't like really snippy with anything. I think it was a good event, and he did a really good job with it. Kids loved all the songs. Yeah,
nice.
It was really cool.
Yeah, I got there I think like maybe noon that day to set up. I set up some light towers for you guys. We set up the wash lights.
you did that shit great, honestly. Because even with that, it was like. As soon as I got there, I knew what was what, like everything that I needed to be there.
Yeah, power was there right under the table
I was like,
for you and stuff.
I was like, oh, he did all this? All right, for sure. I gotta... Even with once I was done setting up, like even setting up, I didn't even never touch lights in my life, aside from like lights I have in my crib, but like to set it up was like, I was like, ooh, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this with 20 minutes left? But then I was like, okay, we got this. We straight. Like, boom, clicked around and then got things going. So
yeah,
I like the fact that all those things were in place for that.
Nice, yeah. And we used Bible. They had given you the list of like 400 songs. Both of you guys had all the music that they wanted to request.
Bro. Shout out Bible.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, it made it super easy to download stuff, and yeah, make sure you have it. And
yeah,
something that Angel never had the pleasure to use.
Jeez, what's a playlist?
Yeah.
See, back then, would that be equivalent to like you giving them a file, like paper, and them writing it down? Like that probably would have been like the equivalent of that back then. But I don't even know if DJs went that far to even know.
So if it was like a homecoming, homecoming there would have been.
You ain't about to do.
No, we're not. No, homecoming we're just gonna bring the music.
We're running it like.
But if it was like a wedding or something, they would obviously give us the standards, the first dance, the introductory music, and then any special requests prior from like the bride and the groom or the family.
That's valid.
But not there was no playlist. You kind of had to feel the room, work the room.
We're
Start with the
we're too
standards
lucky
and then go
now,
from
yeah.
there. Hell yeah, you're lucky.
Yeah. They literally tell us what to play, and then
Yeah.
I mean, and then they'll get mad at you if you don't play what they tell you to play.
Yes.
Yeah, like definitely.
Yes.
I had that at a wedding one time where they gave me a really strict dinner playlist, and I kind of was feeling out the crowd as people were waiting in line, and I definitely seen some heads bobbing, so I kept getting a little more adventurous, and then the coordinator comes to me and they were like, "They want some more songs off their playlist, please." I'm like, yeah.
So why hire the DJ? Why not just play the playlist?
Right, yeah. I mean, you need to find a balance. You know what I mean? Like certain parts of the day, I feel like people are more strict on, like especially at their meal, and especially because this particular couple had kind of like a specific taste of music. You know, more of like that indie rock type stuff. But the family was really more into like the pop and the funk and stuff. So, I could see like they wanted their time. They wanted their time. That was their time to kind of get the indie songs out for them. Because later on during the party, we're not going to really hit up a lot of that indie music and stuff. So I mean, I get it. Like certain times of the day, you need the strict playlist. And I'm really there. I can go crazy during open dancing. Like that's when I can really have the most fun. So
I
it
guess
was definitely a big lesson.
I guess that depends on the crowd itself as well. Because like, had you had a crowd that had her parents been more of a crowd that like enjoyed indie music, then it would have led you in a momentum to kind of like, okay, I'm gonna keep playing this.
Right.
Whereas like the things that you were playing were actually working itself. So like even though it wasn't something that was to their full liking at the moment, you still had the crowd at the moment.
Right.
So you were still like, yeah, I'm gonna vibe, I'm gonna do whatever the crowd wants in terms of that. Because I've been in those situations where it's like, yeah, the owner wants me to play like straight Spanish music, but like these people just want to hear Bad Bunny or whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a difference. So I guess you, like you said, like you go in between that fine compromise of just like what people want to hear and what the curator is trying to go for type of thing.
Yeah, I really learned from that day. Like for the dinner, now I do this specifically. I'll start with their playlist, and then I'll wait for the couple to be halfway through eating, and then I go up to their table. And I kneel down and I say, hey, how's the vibes? Is this the right music? How did the intros go? Like I do that check-in always during dinner now.
That's good.
And then now I know, okay, it's good. And then I can feel them out if they want me to go off the playlist a little, whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, now I'm checking it myself. So that way there's no coordinator coming up into my ear like, hey, I heard this or whatever. Like I'm just going to go ask, how was intros? How was ceremony? How's the vibes right now during dinner? And then take it from there.
Gotcha, that's valid.
But yeah, the homecoming though that you guys did the first one, the coordinator of the school and stuff, she definitely gave you guys a lot of kudos. I was able to come at the end of it. I felt the vibes, honestly. I got super excited. Yeah, everyone was like slow dancing when I came in, but like everyone was super involved. And it was like Halloween weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, because like the storms had moved up all the homecomings. I think both this one and the second one that you guys did both got moved around. And luckily the kids were able to actually have one this year because of all the crazy hurricanes here around Tampa. And they were super excited. They didn't even want to leave. Like they said it was one of the best homecomings that they've had in a while. So
That's great.
they were really good vibes. I could feel the vibes in there for sure. And there were some small technical difficulties, but that's because we were just trying to push so much, with the speakers that day. But everything else was
regardless of all that, it worked out in the end, and I'm glad that they were appreciative of how we came out and we put on the show for them. Because even when you shouted us out, they were still on some
for real, I know.
I was like, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. Shout out to that school.
Yeah, they were super cool, and the coordinator there is super chill. They understood because this was a Christian school. Both of these homecomings were Christian schools for context, and the first one was pretty chill. They let you guys play pretty much whatever. The second one, it went really well. We do got some feedback though to talk about.
That's cool.
So I mean, what are your thoughts on the second one? To walk me through the second one. How did your day go?
I'm gonna start. So I think that like me and him were talking earlier. I think it's more of the timing of like what you really want to happen. He didn't really think about that. Like he thought, because he told us directly to our face. He's like, yeah, I did this the night before. And I'm just like, man, like we're coming here to be DJs like you guys say. And if you're a DJ, there's a certain you got to play what they want, but you also have to fit in the genre of not messing up for the people that put it on.
Right.
So it's just like really ridiculous. But I mean, I think we did an amazing job, minus what happened.
Yeah.
I think both of us did very good.
No, you guys definitely did
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
So-
yeah. And I mean, just to kind of get the feedback out there and that way everyone knows. So, you know, you guys did the event Saturday. I got a call today from the coordinator of that school. And, you know, he basically let me know that he did make some edits to the playlist. And he took, like, I guess they had about 65 songs, which wasn't that many.
Yeah.
And I guess he had taken off about 30 of them.
Which
So he
let us know.
cut the thing in half and he let you guys know. And
I thought he said 70.
So there were 70 on the day
Something
like
before.
that,
yeah.
He had touched the playlist basically.
and like cut it down to like 35. So he
Wow.
basically cut the playlist in half.
So
Yeah.
you wanted you to only play those 35 songs?
No, not necessarily, but those were the only guaranteed approved ones.
Not, but put it here. The show before that was only 2 hours. This one was about 2.5 to 3 hours. So we're playing 3 hours of our playlist, but he only has 30 songs.
Yeah, that doesn't add up.
That doesn't add up.
Right.
First of all, second of all, that Bible website, just for anybody who's using it going forward, there is a folder under it when we work with you guys of songs that you don't want to be played. So I think if there was a more proactive effort towards making sure that the songs that you want are censored out, then I myself would have gone through the process of making sure that those songs aren't played. I went through the playlist when it was at about 70 songs, and I started going through the songs, and even at the one before that, there were songs that they had added that I was like, bro, this is a student that added this song, like, I'm not playing this. And even some songs that they asked, like, there were songs I'm not gonna play that, like, especially if the coordinator is telling me don't play that, like, you know what I mean? But we did our best to, like, make sure that all the songs were, like, we downloaded clean cut versions of the song itself. That's our first effort. Second effort is just making sure that they're songs that you want to be played. We played all the songs that were on the playlist itself.
Like every single last one.
Right, I'm sure.
Did you, like,
and
play them all?
then adding
So
in the
what?
music.
Did you play them all like twice and 3 times?
No,
Because
we
they're
played
going-
Fiend.
They were
How
two-
many times we played
You
Fiend?
got
played-
30
I
songs.
know.
They
Yeah.
wanted
2 hours.
us to play Fiend by Travis Scott. It's got Playboy Cardi and Rich the Kid. They wanted us to play that twice. And well, they even asked for it a third time. And like even after I was like, bro, I'm not playing this again. Like we're not doing that again. We're gonna keep it moving the way, you know, the coordinator wants us to run this. And like that's just how it is at the end of the day. Like it goes into the amount of preparation that you put behind it. And we're gonna do the same. If not, I'm gonna do more. But I think that was just one of those situations in which, you know, that's how it comes out.
For one thing, I would say though, the one that we were talking about. I mean, maybe it was in the middle of it, but for the most part, because I remember he talked to me. He's like, I'm not too sure, but we were like at the very end. That's the only time that I feel like it was maybe like that. But at the same time, it's like there was 7 kids on the dance floor at that point. And they were towards the back. Like no one's paying attention. They're starting to bring it down.
Yeah.
So it's like, I
Well,
get
there
it,
was
but like,
one specific song that he did mention.
I know
Not
what it
song,
is.
but artist. And yeah,
Sexy.
you were right. He was like, they played sexy.
he is not a
They
sexy
played
They
red.
didn't want to hear no Sexy Red. That's what it was at the end of the day.
Every
Yeah.
single
They didn't
girl,
want-
sexy
the,
red, sexy
the principal didn't want no Soulja Boy.
I mean, yeah.
The principal particularly didn't want Soulja Boy, and
Low
Like-
number, yep.
yeah, in terms of just Sexy Red, he was going through a Sexy Red song, and the students were asking for Sexy Red.
Right.
There was
yeah.
one
So,
student that was like shouting it out, like, hey, Sexy
like that
Red.
was so you guys were trying to compromise.
Yeah,
with the
exactly.
kids.
So we're trying to compromise, like, with the students on terms
can
of
I
just
tell you what I would have done, what I used to do back then?
for sure, yeah.
Play the instrumental version.
I called it.
Well,
What
yeah,
did I say?
absolutely. That
What
would have been
did
the
I
best
say?
way to do it. But how are they gonna react without hearing also the words
Right.
to
No,
like?
but I did that a couple times.
No,
remember? I
you
took
did.
the beat. I took
Yeah,
the
yeah.
words
And they were
out.
saying
They were
the
singing
whole-
it word
the whole
for
thing.
word.
If they singing it, that's on them.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. And I was like, I'm not gonna
And-
even. Yeah.
The first homecoming that you guys did, that was the process. Like
Right.
that was they were a lot more chill. They're like, hey, as long as it plays on the radio, it's fine. If the kids say it, it's
Yeah,
okay.
you can't-
This particular school though, they didn't want
Worried
any.
about
They didn't want any of that. Yeah.
The lyrics and
We're not
And I
even
think they were
talking
worried
about
about the
cuss words.
dancing too. You know what I mean? Like any suggestive dancing. I think that was a big thing for them as well.
But you could twerk to any
Because
song.
like the one Sexy Red you played is what?
No, it's
Let
not
that
really.
coochie breathe, bro.
Yeah,
You-
but it's
you
like
let
more
that
like-
coochie
it's
breathe
like
in the
a
Christian high school, bro.
Rich baby daddy. We're talking about that rich baby daddy.
Look, Drake.
It was
Drake.
because
No,
if
what-
it was any other Sexy Red song, it probably would have been worse. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah,
with you.
yeah, no, right.
If
I
it was
know,
any
all of
other
them are
Sexy
bad,
Red
yeah.
song, it probably
That
would've
one's all
been-
over the radio and TV.
Exactly,
like, I
bro.
mean, yeah.
So that was the one we went with, and it was the clean version. That wasn't on some
Right,
like
right.
they were over here
Yeah.
cursing on the song itself. It was just
Hold on, that was probably the
It
best
was.
too. Kudos. That's probably one of the best reactions too. They like like all of them.
Because finally they got
That's
what
what
they
I'm
wanted,
saying.
yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
how do you balance that? You know, it's very
Yeah.
difficult to
Yeah.
do that. You know,
No,
they don't
for
want to hear. I think we played like Funky Town. Play that anywhere else with your weddings that I've been at.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it. They were like cool, but they didn't. They're
I
like,
could
skip,
tell you the
skip.
ones that they wanted us to skip. I could tell you.
Oh,
that
I know.
as
They
well,
were,
you
so
feel
they
me?
would actually like chant and skip.
Yes.
those
Well, of
songs?
course, because of the fact that like those songs we're playing songs that are from the playlist itself.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they're not gonna want to hear ABBA from 1970. Like, they're not gonna want to hear that. They want to hear something that's from their generation. That's something that they can relate to. Respect.
Mondo, tell them what you said on the mic after a while.
Oh, I was on some. Oh well, it was just more of the kids that I was seeing regularly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're asking me to play Fiend for the 4th time, or you're asking me to play All Red from Playboy Unknown,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
I'm not about to play some upside down cross like at a Christian school. I'm not about to do it. But like, yeah, obviously, like there was like a couple of those kids, but I was like on some because the pastor told me, I was like, bro, don't talk to me. Talk
Like, Mondo shut it
talk
down
to your
quickly.
principal. Talk to your principal because that's how it's gonna go. You know, y'all been told. Y'all even got it in writing.
The fact that they got that starting out because
That's what I'm saying.
that's just experience. That's just the school of hard knocks, right? Because the kids are not paying you.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and if
exactly.
they
He
can't-
actually told me that.
And
He's
if
like,
they-
don't care, like, in a
Don't-
nice way, don't really care what the kids are doing, just
Block
do
out
your shit.
whatever they got on right
Yeah,
now
like-
because of the fact that y'all are underminers at the end of the day. Y'all better make the most of this experience because your parents paid good money and
Very good money.
these schools are paying good money for us to come out and put on a good show for you guys and at least make sure that the event is copacetic.
I mean,
And-
put it this way: there's 2 recording engineers at this table. What if the client comes and says, "I want you to do this. This is what I want to record," and you're like, "Do something completely different,"
No, I understand.
right? Just because,
Yeah, no.
the school's paying you to play these songs. You show up and you play those songs.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's it. You ignore all the requests. You're nice about it. You thank them. You're like, "Hey, man, listen, man, I'm with you. I love those songs too. I can't play it right here."
Yep. Yes, sir.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I know though, can I talk about, they had really cool, I don't know if you saw, I mean, maybe he did a gig there before, lights were tremendous.
Yeah.
Like they had a whole iPad.
Shout out to
Yeah, that was
Club,
really
'cause
cool.
y'all did that. With
There
the
was
lights.
so, you know how I almost going crazy with the lights with you? There was too many options, I couldn't even do all of it. I
Well-
just tried to do what I could, but
That was
there
funny
was
prepping
so,
for you.
yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Like,
I can understand you guys are probably already overwhelmed with the songs, but that was actually another piece of the feedback as well. They paid extra for these lights, and they felt like we didn't use them enough during the night.
What am I?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta switch between the scenes.
Granted, we were doing that. You know what I'm
We were
saying?
doing it for the
Like,
most part, but I was
Yeah.
like, you know how I'm always like worried about flashes when we're at weddings? I love the flashes. I love the strobe
Yeah.
lights, but like kids like them too. I don't know who doesn't like them. So I just kept going back and forth, and then he definitely got me on the mic and stuff. So we
In
definitely
terms,
did
in
stuff,
terms
yeah.
of that, y'all
Yeah.
introduced us
No,
to the
but
light
it-
system the same night, and we did
Yeah.
utilize it. It
Yeah, we
wasn't
definitely
like we didn't
utilize them, but we
it
could
at all.
probably have done it like how I do it the whole time.
Right,
too.
right,
That's
exactly.
probably what
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
But
Yeah, we needed to just use it more. Yeah, we just needed to switch between more scenes and
Yeah.
shit. And
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. I mean, yeah, I know it's all last minute, but that's a part of business. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was there, I definitely would feel some type of way. But at the end of the day, I know that I still need to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they hand me this iPad, we got to use it. And if they told me I wasn't using it enough, then I got to, look back and just see if I could have used it more. You know what I mean? Like, but that's just my way of thinking. You know what I mean? And
You got
as far as the playlist stuff too, I guess there was another thing about like internet. You know what I mean? Like, he made the edits, right? And Vible's really good. It's really easy to just download the playlist again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, just connect to internet. You know what I mean? Like, it's really nothing. There's internet everywhere. I would imagine you both each have a hotspot.
no, the hotspot was not working.
So we tried to get the internet from that specific center, and I tried to do that before the event even kicked off. They gave us some booth internet that didn't work.
Yeah.
So while we were getting requests, we were over here trying to download the songs while we're in between our sets, which we're gonna get to them. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if we give us working internet the second we get in, and make sure we have the things that we need. Otherwise, if we don't have the things that we need, we're not gonna be able to do the top tier job that y'all want us to. And literally, like, if I'm giving the proactive effort of making sure that we got those things in place, then give that to us. Yeah. And we're gonna deliver your show. We're gonna give you your best experience that you can have.
I think to take away from it, you guys are right, both you and Angel. And I, as a businessman, I understand that the next time I just have to do more what the customer wants. But I definitely think that, like he said, we already all said, like, this really is on him, that he made the mistake and put it on us.
No.
You don't think so?
No. It is.
The last minute
the
to
customer,
give us...
The customer is always right.
Well, the customer's always right, and I'll give him that.
But it wasn't last minute. You guys,
No.
You guys should have had internet. If you guys had internet at the venue, you guys have hotspots. He has a hotspot.
The hotspot was not working for either me or him. He used his, and
then we gotta make it happen, guys.
No, I
you know
understand.
What I mean? There's always a problem. If the hotspot's not working, then go outside. Take a fucking drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, by any means necessary is my attitude when it comes down to it. You know what I mean? But it's also my business type shit. Like, if it was that strict that he took 30 songs off, then you know, I would. All right, let me drive to McDonald's, man. It's 5 minutes down the street. Let me be 15 minutes late, and then let me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just by any means necessary.
Let me interject. Let me interject. They did mess up.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Right, but you can't.
I'm not gonna sit there and be like, it's your fault.
No. But it's about the energy. It's about the way you go about it, right?
Yeah.
So he should have like not done that the night before. That put you at a
which is the
disadvantage.
conversation I had with him.
But why not though? We could download the playlist.
No, listen.
We should have been able to download that playlist.
We had. If he had 70 songs on the playlist, I downloaded the songs.
All the songs were there.
The 2 days before he even went to editing the playlist. If you went and edited the playlist, then you should have let us know that, hey, I cut down on some songs that were on the playlist. That's you proactively making sure that your kids have the best experience. I proactively went through the time before the event went on to make sure that you had songs for your event. So if you're not giving that same energy that I'm putting in for the event, that you shouldn't be sitting here going back on your, it wasn't this type of experience because you didn't prep for that, buddy.
Like, let's say
the same way I did.
Let's say like the whole low situation.
I'm going by any means necessary.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree though, because by any means necessary is getting the job done. You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, there's no way that we couldn't re-download that playlist.
We had the playlist. That's what I'm saying.
You had the playlist that was edited?
Absolutely.
After his edits?
I had all the songs that he had, including the songs that he didn't want. If you had songs that you didn't want, there's a folder for that.
Right, I understand. So hang on a second though. He edited the playlist.
Yes.
All you have to do is go into Vibo and download it.
But if we don't have internet, then how are we going to get to that playlist?
There was internet at the venue. We could have made more of a proactive effort to get internet. Whether that's go outside, whether that's go down the street to McDonald's, whether that's use Pastor Garcia, the pastor's hotspot, your hotspot, I don't want to dox anyone, you know what I mean?
We're not even going to that.
But you know what I mean? I think accountability.
I think given our circumstances, we put our
you
best.
You did good, yeah.
Put our best.
But the thing is, guys, you guys would have been.
That's what I was.
I can mental note it for the things I'm going to do proactively going forward.
That's what I wanted
for sure, and that's what I want to get this feedback across though too. Like, going forward, we gotta have that by any means necessary. Like, call me up, yo, bro. He made edits. How do I get this shit off of Vibo? You know what I mean? Like,
I agree. We could have done.
You guys had 2 laptops, right? You guys had 2 laptops, right?
Yes.
You guys had 2 laptops there. There's 2 people there. You guys had 2 cars there.
Yes.
One of you guys can stay and DJ. The other guy runs to McDonald's to get Wi-Fi. If it was that much of an issue that no Wi-Fi was in the venue and no hot, why not though? So talk to me. Why wouldn't you run to Wi-Fi?
If I'm at a festival, put it this way: if I'm at a festival and I'm with him, I'm not about to leave a festival to go and drive to McDonald's to make sure a playlist is straight.
Why not?
Because of the fact that you've already paid us to pull up and do the things that we need to do. If this was on a bigger scale of something other than that, then you would have taken the effort to proactively make sure that it's curated to that event, the same way we've put in energy to make sure that it's a good event for you. You get what I'm saying? If I'm in the middle of nowhere and there's no McDonald's for 50 miles, how the fuck am I going to sit here?
But there wasn't though. It wasn't in the middle of nowhere.
No,
so
but I'm saying though, if we were in a bigger event where it was something else, then we're going to work with the things that we have to make it happen. I'm not saying that we're not going to make it happen, but we're going to work with what we have, given the time that we're given. And even him, he gave me the hotspot to make sure that we had the songs to download the songs.
Right, so you guys had internet
There's
working.
always a little, hold on, let me say something.
After a certain while, but we didn't have that at first. That should be something that's given to, like, we're going through the efforts to make sure everything else is set up. I even told him to go get the internet for him so he could bring it back to me.
Yeah.
When I tried to put it in, it didn't work. So then we had to do the extra effort to make things happen, to go the way it needs to go.
I can see how you're in the process and you're going, okay, well, shit, let me jump on my phone, do the hotspot now.
Yeah, bro.
And you try yours. Hey, let's see if we can get Wi-Fi
Exactly,
from the
bro.
building.
It's not like we're just sitting here with
No,
our phones
I'm
in
not
our
saying that.
pockets.
I'm not saying that at all. But at the end of the day, it did cost you guys money.
No,
Hang on a second. Because at the end of the day, the pastor was going to hire you guys for prom. And now he might not be able to do that because he has the faculty that is stressing him out now and putting it on him. So you guys potentially lost out on hundreds of dollars yourself, and my company now lost out on money. So it's like, it's not at the end of the day, oh, you should have had it. This is why we need to be proactive as a small business. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't get the luxury to just have another customer that's going to walk in the door. This is the customer that would have built us up. And do you know how many people are going to have Sweet 16s there? I got this homecoming because I did a Sweet 16. You're playing in front of 300 people. If they go back and tell their parents they had an amazing time, and it was within the specs of pastor, you know how many Sweet 16s would be booked for? You know what I'm saying? So it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars out of your pocket. That's why I'm saying it's nothing. Send one of you guys to McDonald's. Go get the playlist to make sure that we're on point with what they gave us. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that's proactive effort to making sure that things are secure.
I think it's
That's fine.
Troy, to go back to when you originally said, that's on them. And whatnot.
I wouldn't say that.
No,
I wouldn't say
right,
that.
because here's
That's
what
not
I
something
want
I
to
would
here's
say.
what I want to get at, right? Because you said your response was like, well, that's on them, that's their fault, right?
No.
It's important to understand that, right. The clients it's never going to be clean.
Yeah.
It's never going to be clean. It's never going to be like, if it is, then count your blessings. But it's really important to be like, shoot, how could I have fixed that? It was your immediate answer to blame someone else instead of what can I learn from this? It's why I had that response where you say, no, you can't, right? So what happened. You can't go back and fix it. What do we do now? So now we know to prepare for a situation where there might not be internet, whether it's to invest in a Verizon hotspot or whether it's being counterproductive, right? It's like, it's the reason you take extra cables. It's the reason you take,
You do that prep
Right,
work
you do
before
that
the
stuff,
event to make sure
but
that it's the best.
if you never have a fuse blown out on you, then you don't know to bring an extra fuse. So the important part is that it's like, okay, this happened, but to immediately say, oh, it's their fault, you might be missing an opportunity to learn from it.
I take full responsibility for it, and like me and Steve have talked about this before. He's a really good analogy. If you get hit in the back of a car, sometimes like, what are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like how you said. So I see it with this. Like it doesn't matter what the situation was. We should have listened and we should have done what he said. But in that time, I will say that most people aren't going to think that way, and I think that's the lesson from it is to actually start thinking a little bit more. But me and Mondo having our head in a swivel, it's not just him doing the DJ shit. It's me doing it now too, going back and forth, making sure everything's good, making sure we have internet, number one. Because let me say this too, we had to FaceTime the guy to get the internet. He was on FaceTime call to do the lights. I understand that things are, busy for some people. But if you have a homecoming, maybe have the main guy that knows what he's doing there. Because, Mondo got it, but at first I could hear it while I'm putting up the lights, it wasn't as just easy as doing this and this and this. It's like, we have never touched these lights before. I understand that you've always needs to make the best of every situation. But there's only so much you can do when you just got there, and it's not 4 buttons. It's a bunch of stuff. I did the flashes, I did what I can, but I don't know everything. But there's still settings. You click down and it was like lavender red, it flashed red and it went throughout the thing. It's not like it just sat on one color. I get where you're saying that you gotta always know what to do next, and I take responsibility on that, but I will say, and I will keep my word on this, the pastor should have done better. Amen.
In terms of
I
that,
take responsibility.
aside from that, I think
he said amen.
I think even I think aside from the lights itself, because like I agree with what you're saying in terms of that we can only use with the knowledge that we've accumulated within that time to adjust for the lights, and even with the issue of the playlist, I think that even after you played like what Rich Baby Daddy, we were like play Just Let It Rock, rock, rock. As soon as you played that, the vibe itself, they forgot about the fact that even that song was even being played because we adjusted accordingly into the next vibe that like really like, okay, that's fine. They could say something about it, but overall for the whole night, y'all can't sit there and say we were out of lines for the whole night. You feel me? Like they had a good time.
You know what's also really good? It's also a really good experience that this happened right now is to understand your clients, to understand your audience, right? Because you'll never go back to another Christian school and make the same mistake twice.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I know now to be on my P's and Q's.
Right.
No matter how I feel about it. Yeah.
Right, but that's like a beautiful lesson to learn early in your career, right? It sucks that it may have not caused, may have caused. That's customer service. It's got to deal with that, right? Yeah. That's how customer service. Shout out to customer service.
No, like you said, customer's always right.
But
I agree.
They're not. They're assholes.
But they're always all right. You gotta make them happy first.
But you have to, right? You have to like be like, okay,
you gotta adjust accordingly.
Right, adjust accordingly. So like, knowing that you have to understand your customers, right? So when you go into a wedding, and if you see that they're kind of conservative, that they're kind of, you know what I mean? Like, it's understanding more of like the human being and who they are and whatnot, and who's paying you. I always used to hate it when I would go to a wedding and they'd have a strict list. Like, this is what I want you to play. I'm like, well, how selfish of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How selfish of you. I mean, you
all
got
these
100 people here
that
bringing you gifts and all this, and you making them listen to this crap.
Exactly how we felt actually that night.
Right, but they're the ones that are paying you.
Yeah.
You got hired to do a job. Do the job.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. You know what doesn't require internet though? Vinyl.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, then Pastor could have just took the records right out the damn crate himself. He would have been like, dum 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 dum, and throw them out in the back for real.
Nah. What really killed me was when he was over here like, we were like, we're about to play low next. He was like, which one is low? Apple bottom jeans. I was like, yo.
I could have said anything else in the song.
Saying the lyrics.
Yeah, I could have said anything else.
He was like, yeah, probably not. I was like, all right, we got you. And it was funny because he had it in queue. So he was like, nah, all right, we'll switch it over to the next
what
one.
What blew my mind is, I mean, it's not a direct results like what the song's about, but like Fiend is literally about drugs, and he didn't give a shit about drugs, but he cared about shaking.
Well, I think the main thing that they cared about was the sexiness.
The word context.
They didn't want people to dance provocative, and I think that was the biggest thing. Like with low, everyone drops it low. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hands on your knees.
Yeah. I mean, like anything that's like provocative, that's gonna make them dance provocative. I think that's what they were.
That was the kicker. Like that's
they wanted freaking Nene and Juju on the beat. I haven't done that in a while, but they wanted Juju on the beat. We're like,
oh wow. Yeah,
it was so good. It was good. But it's like you said earlier, like it's finding that fine line between like what is working for the client and what the actual audience is going for as well. And I think that's just like, bro, this is my second gig, so I'm not even tripping off this. This is like all learning experiences for me, and I'm gonna take this and do 1,000 times better on my next one, regardless. Like whatever the feedback is, I don't care what that is.
That's most important.
I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna grow from it, and I'm gonna do better each time. So
100%.
I mean, I appreciate it at the end of the day. So that's cool. That's dope.
Nice. Well, yeah. Definitely weigh in on the comments. Let us know what you think. How would you take the feedback? What would you guys think? What would you do in the situation? What if you only had 30 songs and that's all they gave you and they were super strict? Let us know.
30 songs, that's crazy. I'm gonna play every song super slow.
Yeah.
Every song.
Right, yeah.
Oh, it's 3 hours now.
Yeah, right. And that's like a good testament though. That's like the hardest thing in DJing is building your crates, man. Like that's what a great DJ is. Like 90%, 80% of being a DJ is literally just playing the right songs and having the right songs. Like all the other mixing, scratching, transitions, the echoes, it's all icing on the cake. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, the cake has to taste good.
I want to say though,
it'd be the right flavor.
If we did we did a couple times, actually not a couple times, numerous times, but if we did mix stuff, we would have ran out quickly.
Yeah.
We had to let the song play out, which is fine, like a lot of the songs, but like me and you have talked about, I want to mix it together. But he's like, every time all those songs come out, he's like, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. I'm like, I agree.
And that's the big thing about the homecomings too, is like they have a short attention span, so you kind of have to quick mix.
Yeah.
And that's how you can kind of squeeze some of those like dirty songs in too. If you just like quickly put in that sexy right, just like a quick 4 bars off the chorus, you know what I mean? Like that's real game. Honestly, that's real game.
Like I said, or play a little bit of the
instrumental. They get it real quick, that quick hit. Because honestly, like you said earlier too, like just play the instrumental. I don't think that would work in the Christian school because they know the words too well. They're gonna sing it anyway. They're gonna do that.
Well, we took the song.
All right, so we gotta stop with it. It's not my problem because that's.
How do you control a crowd that's gonna say it?
You be a good DJ and you don't play the instrumental. You play something else, or like I just said, I just put you on game.
Cut out the next song. I agree with.
You just put it on for
just
like
don't even try to put it in the hemisphere of just what they're singing.
Yeah,
okay. Because they definitely were singing the words, man.
Yeah, that was just like you can't take the words out from them.
They're still saying the words. They ain't doing nothing different.
So can I say one thing before we go? I think this is the biggest thing, okay? Let's say, so what I'm getting from this is, and I could be wrong, that number one, the actual client that bought it, he's the most important. We need to make him happy, okay? If we didn't make those mistakes, let's say reversed. Let's say the kid goes home. The kid talks to the mom. That DJ sucked. He didn't play anything I wanted. Goes back, and now the school's like, we don't want that DJ.
No, the parents would be like, wow, he didn't? That's good then. Let me hire him for my Sweet 16 because this is the type of music that I need.
But what if the kid's like, I don't want that?
Because the person who coordinated the event, he's really cool. He's easygoing, but shit rolls downhill. He's getting the shit from the top from the principal, and guess who's above the principal? The parents that pay the tuition for the kids to go there. He's getting shit from the parents are giving shit to the principal. Principal's going down to the pastor, and so it's rolling downhill, and then it got to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and now it's you.
Yeah, now here we are here throwing it out to the world.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Now, I mean, at the end of the day, though, for real though, to definitely bring it back to the point, you guys did good. The kids were happy, and it's all back end stuff. Like when I was talking to the coordinator, he said, "Yo, everyone was happy. Everyone had a great time. It was a success. You know what I'm saying? You guys did what you needed to do. The only thing was this particular school was beyond strict, squeaky clean stuff. You know what I mean? And I think we do have a shot for the prom. You know what I mean? Like I talked to him. I took some feedback. He's going to talk to the principal and stuff. He was actually like literally walking into the meeting with them after we spoke. So hopefully he takes some of what I said and I let him know like with the app we can dial in his list. Like, and I think if he takes the time now, I think he understands.
There's a more proactive.
We just get a list and we can use that list. All the time, all his events now. You got 400 songs, and you know what? You can give this app now out to the parents. Now the parents can.
That was something that I told him while we were on stage. Like when he told me he edited, I was like the day before. He was like, yeah. I was like, well, I downloaded your music the day before that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And then once I said that, I think he realized, he understood.
Yeah,
he understood
knows that's part
the fact that it was like, okay,
but we can never say that to his face or use that to like cope with it because like honestly like to be good in business and to be great customer service like you just have to go above and beyond.
I think in terms of that though, prepping them so that way the next event is a better curated event and something that they can curate better. That's the message that we have to get across.
That goes back to learning.
Yes.
You just said, okay, well, maybe next time we have to tell the client if you make changes at the last minute, it might affect.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I would run to McDonald's. I mean, just run to
I understand. Hold up, real quick. One thing, and I'm sorry, I'm staying on this. One thing that is for sure, and I understand you are the event. Okay. You're not at the place, even though it's your thing.
Yeah.
We are at that point in charge.
Right.
Hey, come to my church. By the way, I wasn't too happy about this song. We didn't get that.
No, yeah. Oh,
why
he said
did
he gave you guys because it was on the back end. Like what we're doing right now is we're really zooming on it. Like to zoom back out, big picture, you guys did good. Yeah, Everyone was happy. The event was a success. He thought you guys were really good guys.
Context clues to take to the next.
Like he wants to go with you guys for prom. He just doesn't know how he's gonna make the principal okay with giving you guys a second shot.
You gotta pepper out and tell all your kids not to complain when we play what they tell us to play.
No, there you go.
But that goes back to the attitude. That's a horrible attitude.
But how do you?
Because
now we'll curate the playlist even better. That's
right. And then once we have it, then they don't have to recreate it.
You're trying to find a way or a reason. You say, why didn't he tell me this? He didn't tell you because you're an employee. He has to go tell the owner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That, you see what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so you didn't make him like you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was okay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to find a reason
Okay.
to take it off of you. It's
Okay.
not on you.
Yeah.
Like it's perfectly okay.
Okay.
This is all a learning experience,
Exactly.
right? We know to figure out something with the internet because it's not going to be the first time, the last time it happens.
Yeah.
We know that we should educate our client better to tell them if you make changes at the last minute, it may affect,
Yeah.
so we know that if we're at a Christian school, we got to try to be extremely
Mhm.
clean, squeaky clean. We know that we have to practice to learn how to be more creative in order to please the audience and the client.
Mhm.
So maybe maybe it's just 3 quick bars and get in and out.
Right.
Maybe just a snippet of the instrumental with the acapella of something else, right? And practice
Yeah,
your
that's a good
blends
idea, yeah.
and do like that, right?
That way it's not just an instrumental.
they
They,
hear
can't
the
sing
beat,
over if
right.
there's another acapella.
and at
It's
the
like,
end of
yeah, yeah.
and at the end of the day, what's in your control and what's not in your control. You can't control if a bunch of Christian kids are singing curse words. That's not out of your control, and you don't
Right.
do anything. You're not doing anything wrong. So the lesson, because you really are stuck on feeling attacked. You're not being attacked. I promise you, you're not. You're not. You don't have to find a reason to excuse what happened.
Yeah, we just shooting the stuff on it, really.
It's just what happened. At the end of the day, it's just what happened for a whole bunch of other things. And like Steve said, we're focused on that one little tiny thing
Yeah.
out of
Bunch
All
of
the
good
good
things
things.
that happen.
Yeah, I mean,
itself.
like 95% of it was good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and most of the songs you guys played
When
were
you got
good.
the principal dancing to like the
Yeah.
Cupid Shuffle, bro,
Nice.
you
That's
came there,
good.
bro.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was over you.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So yeah,
He
so
was
maybe
dan-
that made it
he
went a
was-
little bit
That's
better.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying, bro.
Yeah,
He was
so, yeah.
dancing to the music like
They
everybody.
really
was
did
there.
like you guys. Yeah, like they
bro.
really like. I think they like your look up there. Like you know what I mean. Like they gave some fresh energy.
It could have been one parent. It could have been one Karen who said something to
Yeah.
the principal,
Yeah.
Right.
and then the principal has to now say something.
No, I understand that. I was
He could
telling
just be going
Steve
through
it
the
could have been
motions
something
too. He could
different.
be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I gotta say this because I gotta
You know
do
what's
my
another
job."
thing
like-
too? I know this is another proactive thing, like you
Shout out
said.
to
You
all the
should
cameras out there.
you should think about this when we were doing the and I agree, like we should have probably have known this already, but we had to learn. He comes up to us and he goes, "Are you gonna put on background music while they were doing the homecoming queen and stuff?"
Yeah.
We had music like on the low, but he's like, "No, do something differently." But like we were never like when we ran through it, he's like, "I'm gonna do this at this time, and we're gonna just do this."
Well, he
Usually
said he
turn
just
on the
wanted music with no words on it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna put on congratulations because y'all
Nice.
congratulating.
That's
me.
a good
that's
one,
what he
yeah.
did.
And what, you took out the
Yeah, I took out the words. It was
Yeah,
just the
yeah.
beat
But then he's like,
itself.
"No, change it up." And we're like, "I mean, we did it, but it
Oh,
was just
wow.
like
I think
in
it was
the
just 'cause
beginning,
he didn't
say
want
that, yo,
congratulations.
I want to maybe have this song, maybe an upbeat song while we do this." That was never in the instructions. So
Right,
he's just
right,
like, "We're gonna present these people, and how we always do it. What do? We either put the filter down, or we just turn it off completely.
Yeah.
To be respectful." So that's what we did, and then he's like,
I don't
"Wow."
think
So-
that was a big hitch.
It wasn't a big
I-
thing,
I-
but I remember that.
I think it went smoothly with that. He was just letting
Yeah.
us know how he wanted us to
Yeah.
carry it in that moment. But
Yeah,
Like-
which is fine. I mean, because that's something that you learn. Like when there's any dead air, you gotta have something ready as a DJ. Like, but if people are speaking, generally, I don't have any music unless it's gonna be like a long,
Mhm.
you know,
It was
drawn-out
pretty-
thing. So
Not too much. He just named everybody that came up on stage, named
Right,
who won,
yeah.
and then we went right back to it. So
Nice.
yeah.
did you guys do like get to do a slow dance with them or not?
I asked him about it, and he was like, "Nah, they're not really into that." So I was like,
No
"Oh,
slow
I
dance?
know,
I know the Spanish girls
I was like,
would've
"Y'all
done
want to
that."
slow dance?"
No,
They were like,
no.
"Oh, I talked with the committee, the student committee, and they didn't want that." So I was like, "Okay, no Ed Sheeran for you, buddy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they were
Gotta
dancing
throw one
together,
in
so
there.
we could have done
The
it.
school before they were about it. They were like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, play it." I was like, "Okay, bet." And they danced to it.
Yeah, they vibed,
It was cool. They were vibing to it. Like next time, I might just play it just because.
Yeah, because they don't know what
I was
they
playing
want sometimes.
bachata
Yeah,
for them,
like-
and like for the second school, like they went for it. So like if I played a slow song, they're gonna play.
Yeah, if they're dancing and getting into like twos, like that's fine to do, and they were doing that. So I was like, that's kind of we should have done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when they were doing the Spanish songs, they would get together, they would start doing the dance. It's all of it, you know. It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Exactly, bro.
like they cried, they went crazy when Suavemente came on.
Word.
They loved
They
it.
wanted that.
Yeah,
They wanted
that's always
Like this
Suavemente.
one girl the
That one
entire
doesn't miss,
night,
bro.
Suavemente. I'm like, we're gonna get there. We're gonna
They
get
know
there.
how
you
sexy that song is.
huh.
So
I know that would be.
Yeah,
weird.
girls
not-
try to find the cracks. They try to find
Now, what do
every
we
crack.
have
that
to
they
do?
can. They try to find any
Alright.
crack that they can possibly
Love
get.
it. It's alright. It's alright.
But yeah, but hopefully we'll have more. Pastor Garcia should get back to me.
Why'd you say his name?
I know, I'll have to blank that out. It's alright. They don't know the score yet.
Garcia, bro. My God, bro. You really did that, bro. You still did that. He had the
super cool.
He had the little Havana club in the back, like
yeah, they had the video wall. I was jealous, man. Your production was bigger than mine that day.
Okay, bro. Y'all got us on stage. Like
they paid extra money for all the extras at that place. Yeah, so next time we got to sell them on our
We'll go
extras.
harder next time, bro.
And that way we can use our controller and everything will be a lot better. Yeah.
So
yeah, you got a wedding coming up. I think the 23rd. If you're gonna try to do it, you know.
I gotta do it.
Yeah, and we're gonna have someone help you with the first half, and then
This
the
is my
second half.
redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get you hopefully on another gig as soon as you want, and as soon as
Sensei Mon, it's IG.
Are you down for a wedding or?
Just let me know, bro. As long as I can prep for it and I can give my best effort, then that's all I care about. But yeah. Y'all can find me on IG, Sensei Mons, bro. Benton Media Lounge.
Benton Media, shout out to Benton Media Lounge.
Let it drop music, bro.
Yes.
Y'all know where to find us. Tampa, Florida.
What else you got to say?
For me?
Yeah.
So
fine.
Mr. Soto.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes. We appreciate y'all watching. Maybe in another month or so we'll have another session, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yes, sir.